Hey! It's me, Marky Billson. Tri-City Sports. Now, you heard the spot for Asian House, and I do want, although they are not a sponsor of Unicoi County football, they're certainly a sponsor of this show. And if you're in Johnson City or you're in Jonesboro, you're looking for someplace to eat for lunch, 10% off. They're right there, West Market, Shops in West Market. About a mile down if you're going to Jonesboro from the State of Franklin Market intersection. You know Market Street, 321, 11E. You're driving to Jonesboro, you're driving to Greenville, that sort of thing. I may be taking that road to South Green. Got to plot my route here, and all that. Anyway, I might be on that road, or at least that U.S. highway, a bit tomorrow. However, to give you that Unicoi County game. But the one thing I do want to say right there is you mentioned the catering. And I want everybody to think tomorrow about Asian House, and they'll give you 10% off, but Asian House catering, but, think tailgating. You're at the high school football venue of your choice, and it's the start of the season, and you want to celebrate a little bit, and you'll get there early, and the weather is good, and here's the thing. In today's day and age, where everybody's got to complain about something, starting up a grill can often, believe it or not, raise eyebrows. I remember going to a Penn State football game. Don't ask me why. But we got a hibachi out, and we wanted to start charcoal. Like 3 hours before the ball game. And a guy came out and says, no, you're going to have to put that out. We don't allow charcoal in the parking lots around here. Well, what? Huh? What? Well, the thing is, they start to burn, and we've had situations where the charcoal has burned out people's tires in the parking lot, so we don't allow it. I suppose it could blow up a car. It was just, a fuel leak or something, but, but it was a little bit, dude, come on. How nitpicky can you be? And I just, it left a bad taste in my mouth. It wouldn't have left a bad taste in my mouth if instead of I got the charcoal, the lighter, all that sort of stuff, or even take with you a propane grill, if that's what you're going to do, go to Asian House. You get 10% off to mention my name, but they do catering, and then think how popular it's going to be to have Chinese for your tailgate. Something different, something exotic, or for that matter, Japanese, sushi tailgate. It's 2019. That's a good thing about 2019. There are a lot of good things about 2019. The internet, modern medicine, come on, all that sort of stuff. But 2019, yeah, how do you like your hot dog there, Ralph? It tastes like charcoal. Asian House. Exotic, Chinese. Chinese is now mainstream, come on. But, it's something different, so why don't you do it? Now, right there, West Market, go there now. And just for tomorrow, remember that, and you get 10% off by mentioning my name, Marky Billson, 1420 WEMB, Sports Radio. Okay, I mentioned those things. How about this? You want me to get on with the product on the show, certainly, but tattoos. I got 2 tattoos story here, okay? That was a Rolling Stones album. Should I do that tattoo you? Right? Larry Bird, an icon in basketball circles and certainly in Indiana. What would you say? You say Bobby Knight or Larry Bird more popular in Indiana? That's a good question right there. Digger Phelps? I don't know. Probably not that, but anyway. Larry Bird has a mural up in Indianapolis. No surprise there, huh? He'd like it to be changed. And I don't blame him. And a reason why, basically a mural of Larry Bird surfaced on the side of a building near downtown Indianapolis this week. And it was, I've got it right here, it appears to be on the side of what appears to be a housing unit, maybe apartments, that sort of thing. And Bird saw it, And it has him in his Indiana State Sycamores jersey. Okay, remember he took him to the Final Four 40 years ago. One problem. It's got him with 2 sleeves of tattoos. Larry Bird doesn't have any tattoos. And I understand trying to do something modern, but that is in poor taste. And Larry Bird wants him to change it. Larry's position, he has elevated himself to where he began, to where he is now through a lot of hard work. He's developed a brand that's marketable, and he needs to protect that brand, said Bird's attorney, the man's name is Gary Sally, to the Indianapolis Star. The mural, as originally painted, was a departure from that brand. Now, Larry Bird, we can go into the, I would like Larry Bird to perhaps support his daughter. You've probably heard that story a little bit more than what happened. The mural was painted by Jules Mack, who is a graffiti and street artist. I do not think that is a thing. I got to be honest with you. Okay, you guys know, why do you have such an affinity for Pittsburgh and all this? I'm going to tell you a little story here. I hate graffiti. I think it's nauseating. And graffiti, to me, my mother lived with her first and second grade, main line of Philly. And even a main line place, you'd have graffiti. And it's ugly. I learned all sorts of curse words that way. I'll be honest with you there. But when I moved at that time into Pittsburgh, it's not quite that way anymore. But when I moved to Pittsburgh, it was clean. Yeah, and this is when the smokestacks were still going. It was clean. There was no graffiti in Pittsburgh. It was beautiful. And, I mentioned my grandparents who lived in Columbia, South Carolina. No graffiti in Columbia either. But you went into Philly and, oh my God, people would be tagging the panel trucks would be driving by. You'd go down, it was ugly. I got to tell you the truth. If you want to do this, that's your business. And I'm not going to speak out against it. It's your body. If you want a tattoo, go get a tattoo. I'm not stopping you. It's not something I want to do, though. Okay? It's not something I want to do. And I totally get it. It's not an and if it makes me sound older, fine. I don't like having graffiti on my body. And Larry Bird does not like the depiction as well. You can tell I'm old-fashioned or whatever, but yeah, I'm down with Larry Bird there. And where do you get putting that on? We're going to hip-hop him up. We're going to put him in modern times. Larry Bird. Really? Honestly? Okay. There's a woman that I like who is tattooed. Her name is Joan Jett. I'm a rock and roll fan. I like Joan Jett. I love rock and roll, all this. I've gone to her concerts and all that where I've seen where she has, a eyeball tattoo on one of her forearms. I'm not a huge fan of that, to tell you the truth and all this. And while I've heard a lot of people say, that Joan Jett, there is an image of Joan Jett, that do you want it in a bikini or something like that, or the leather jacket, sort of, tough Joan Jett, and, I love rock and roll. When she remade Dirty Deeds, I thought she looked pretty good, actually, and all this. But, no, I've heard some people say, no, I've sat next to Joan Jett or something like that, and, this is someone but who cares? She's about music. But the thing that's always bothered me is that, when NBC basically turned Monday Night Football into Sunday Night Football, and that was waiting all week for Sunday night. You remember, they remade, just like Hank Williams Jr., this is a thing now for football games, they remade All My Rowdy Friends Are Coming Over. Tonight it became All My Rowdy Friends Are Coming Over for Monday night. Remember that on ABC and later ESPN. I think they're still doing that. And then Joan Jett, they had the great song, Hate Myself for Loving You, and it was turned into Waiting All Day for Sunday Night. But they didn't have Joan Jett sing it. And that bothered me. Oh, they had Pink, they had Faith Hill, Carrie Underwood, but never Joan Jett. Why? I mean, there is a bit of sexism in there, don't you think? If Hank can do his own song, but Joan Jett can't, that's going to change. And I think this is a great thing. Sunday Night Football, waiting all day for Sunday night. They had gotten away from that theme for a couple of years, but they are now going to have Joan Jett collaborate with Carrie Underwood on that song before the football games. The Open will debut before the September 7th game between the Steelers and Pats. It was shot at Atlanta's Mercedes-Benz Stadium. First time it's been shot at an NFL stadium. Interesting. I'm looking forward to that. I think that is a great thing. And, yeah, I mean, Joan Jett fan. Carrie Underwood fan. Cowboy Casanova and all that. But, Joan Jett a little more my generation and all that. Although, Carrie Underwood, come on. All that sort of stuff. And extraordinarily talented. Extraordinarily beautiful, but still, I got the picture. I'll show it up for our Facebook listeners here. You got Carrie Underwood in the snakeskin dress holding a football with Joan Jett. And that actually is pretty decent. By the way, I guess we should also put the picture up of the Larry Bird mural with the photos for our Facebook viewers. And right there, decent enough portrayal, except for the tattoos right there. So, say what you will with that. Let's talk some high school football when we come back. It is Tri-Cities Sports Now.